All right, this week on the podcast, I am joined by Alan Casavant. Alan's been the mayor of Biddeford for the past 12 years, but I've actually known him for a lot longer than that. He mentions in the interview that I've known him since I was a kid, had him as a teacher in high school. Story I didn't share on the podcast was I remember I was in this Mr. BHS thing when I was a senior in high school, where we kind of all get on stage. It's actually kind of weird in hindsight, but I was asked a question, and the question was, who's your favorite teacher? And I did not know what to say, but quickly I said Mr. Casavant. I had a whole reason why, but he was always a guy in high school that I thought was an amazing teacher. Loved his class, American Studies. He was great at what he did, and just a guy that I always kind of gravitated towards. So as I remained a citizen of Biddeford, and I've been voting in all the elections that he's run, he's a guy that I've gotten to know even better, served with in my role on the school committee, and just a guy I look up to a lot. I think when you look back at the history of Biddeford, at least over the past 50, 100 years, he's probably going to be one of those mayors that has had the most impact in a positive way. So, like I said, guy I look up to a ton. It's fun to talk to him for 45 minutes about his term as mayor. He's been involved in a lot of things, and he has a lot of insight and a lot of good stories. And it was a conversation that I really, really cherished. And when I look back at doing this podcast, it's going to be one I think I'll always remember. So I think you'll really enjoy it if you listen to the whole thing. So again, this is the Randy Forster podcast. If you can do me a favor, as always, subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple. Really appreciate the support with that. So thanks again for always listening. Here's Alan.